We're going live, guys.
That's my understanding. Okay. We live?
All right. I think we're live here. Welcome everyone. Thank you for coming back to Carnivore Backwoods. We got 4 of the 5 channels here so far. Sean's running a little late. We got Larry here from Carnivore Soldier. We got Brian from Wick Carnivore, and we got JT from the Poco Moonshine family. And like I said, Intentional Carnivore said he'll be a little late, but he'll be here. And we welcome everybody. Looks like we already got 4 people in here. What's up, and there goes my computer letting me know I have all these lives going live. Let me get rid of that. Anyways, so today we're going to be taking questions and we're going to be answering, what you guys got going on. Got two things. If you got a question, put a Q before it so we can spot it and pull it out and let you and answer it. And then if you got a victory that you want us to talk about, make sure you post it on there, and we'll definitely be going over those today. So
a bunch of shout outs, right, John?
What's that?
We're gonna do a bunch of shout outs.
We're gonna do a bunch of shout outs. If you got a carnivore channel and you want it on here, we'll throw out your link to let them know what's going on. You can reach out to any of us if you'd like to do a live collab or even a recorded collab with us. We'll definitely do that. You can reach me on my Gmail account, which is carnivorebackwoods@gmail.com. Or you can get me on Instagram or Facebook. And I think all these guys have other ways to get a hold of them, and I'll let them talk in just a sec. So with that, make sure you're putting Q's in for question. Make sure you're posting your non-scale victories. And without any further, I guess I'll pass it over to Larry. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, Larry, I'm the Carnivore Soldier from Austin, Texas. Been carnivore since March 22nd, so today is, I think, 179 for me, and I've been lion diet for 49 days now. I've come down from 280 pounds to 236. Feel awesome. Healed up a bunch of stuff. No allergies. Just rocking and rolling. If you want to get to my site, just go to carnivoresoldier.com. It's got all my links, and you can check me out on YouTube. Follow, like, and subscribe, please.
All right, Brian.
All right. My name is Brian. I have the Wick Carnivore YouTube channel, and I've been carnivore for a little over 14 months now, and I've lost over 75 pounds in that time period, actually closing in at 80 now, and healed a lot of different things, lowered my blood pressure. I haven't had any AFib episodes in over a year, and I used to get a couple a week before carnivore. Arthritis, joint pain, mild depression, all that stuff is gone. So carnivore has been a lifesaver for me.
Outstanding. All right, JT.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm JT from the Poco Moonshine family. I had bad IBS and sleep apnea, and I had 3 discs in my back that were out of alignment from a car accident, but thanks to carnivore, all those issues are completely gone. I don't suffer from any of that stuff no more. I have tons of energy. My max weight was 254 pounds, but I did start carnivore at 194, 195. I lost weight before carnivore just from cutting out beer and soda, but I was still had IBS and still had sleep apnea. So all that did was just help me lose some weight, but getting on carnivore helped me actually kick the IBS, kick the sleep apnea and all that stuff to the curb. So that's my story, and I'm here to keep on spreading the good news.
Outstanding. All right. So the conversation today is non-scale victories. And, I've had some non-scale victories. I know all you guys have had some non-scale victories. So we're going to share those and we're going to talk about them. Whether they're immediate or they've been after some time on carnivore. Some of them may be, maybe embarrassing, but, we're going to have some conversations here. One of the big non-scale victories for me is my blood pressure. And I did a video on this, but my blood pressure has always been high. And when I was a kid and a teenager, I would go in, to the doctor and it'd be like, oh, your blood pressure is kind of high. And we lost Larry there.
I'm still here.
Okay.
My camera's just, I would reset my camera. That's all. Sorry.
I get used to my internet bumping, so I see things like that, and it throws me off. Sorry about that. Anyways, my blood pressure would be high even when I was a teenager, and then when I hit my 20s and we were getting ready to adopt a couple of kids that were my cousins, I had to get a physical done, and I got diagnosed with high blood pressure officially and got put on the medication that was still taking till today. So this was 24 years ago, I guess. Anyways, even on medicine, my blood pressure still ran in the high zone. It wasn't ever perfect, but it was within manageable range for the doctor. And that's been going on for years. And so I did a huge weight loss push back in 2012, 2013, and got down to a little lower than I am now. And my blood pressure was still high then. You know, even on medication, it didn't come down. I was still running high blood pressure, and so I didn't think I just figured I'm always going to have high blood pressure. But the cool thing about carnivore is since I started carnivore, and you can watch my video and see the picture I put up, but I've been keeping my blood pressure checked, and it steadily has reduced and come down every single month that I've been on carnivore. And as of today, I am down to just one of my benzopril pills, and I'm probably going to be kicking that hopefully here in the next month or two. And my blood pressure is still averaging 127/78, which is phenomenal, you know. And that's after getting rid of 1/4 or getting rid of 3/4 of my medication that I've been taking for a long time. So that's one big non-scale victory for me that I'm absolutely happy with. And I've done some research, and your body functions better and your heart functions better on carnivore and on ketones. So, you know, keep an eye on it, especially if you're carnivore and you do have high blood pressure. You definitely want to keep an eye on your blood pressure, because, you know, it can get so low that you have issues like I was having at one point where I started bending over and getting dizzy. Larry, what do you got to say?
Yeah, so for me, it was a combination. I mean, losing weight was huge because that was, you know, what was holding me back a lot, but it really was motivation and energy to do things. So I found myself at a point when I was really heavy that I had no motivation to do anything. You get off the couch. I mean, everything was a chore. Walking my dog was a chore. I mean, just any little thing was hard to do and a pain. And then after 2 weeks on this, I had so much energy. I was looking for things to do. I'd start cleaning up the house. I'd start doing chores around. I'd start weeding. I hate weeding. I started weeding. I loved it. I started not just walking my dog, but taking him for hikes, doing, you know, it was transformational for sure. So, sorry, my camera's glitching a little bit, but you can hear me fine though, right? The audio should be good.
Yeah, your audio is good.
Yeah, so I think that was really transformational, because that motivation thing drove me forward and encouraged me so much that my whole attitude towards every aspect of my life started getting more positive. And again, Brian talked about depression and mental health issues. You know, I'm a veteran, retired Army, and, you know, we're known for our mental health issues.
Thanks for serving,
you know,
bud.
Hey, no problem. I mean, I'm retired now. It was a good ride, but you know, it's the mental health issues are huge, and I think I didn't even notice this till later, but I did notice that I had less stress, less anxiety, and my depression just basically went away. Which I used to have like days that were bad, and I haven't had a bad day, and I can't remember how long now. It's amazing. So those are the big victories I had, I think, initially.
That's great.
Excellent. You know, and I had a lot of that too. I'm sure Brian and JT can confirm that the brain fog, the lack of energy, all that stuff is just, you know, as you get older, you start thinking, hey, you know, I guess I'm getting older. That's just part of life. And then when you get on carnivore and you've been on it for a short period of time, you're like, wait a minute here, I feel better than I did when I was 20. You know, what's the story here? So then you really start delving in and realizing, no, I shouldn't feel this way. This is just because I haven't been providing my body the proper nutrition. Brian, what do you got going on today? Or what do you want to talk about? Sorry.
So I've had a lot of non-scale victories in the last year or so. The one I'm going to talk about here probably has been the biggest life-changing one for me is AFib. That stands for atrial fibrillation, and it's an issue with electronic signals for your heart for heart beating. So what happens is when you go into an episode, your heart's beating at like a normal rhythm, right? And then what happens is it starts speeding up like this, and then it goes back to normal, and then it starts speeding up like this again. And it causes your heart rate to go up, causes your blood pressure to go up, and likelihood of stroke and that kind of stuff. So I was diagnosed with that in 2018, and it slowly got worse and worse. The cardiologist said it would get worse and worse. At one point, I had to go into the hospital, couldn't get out of the episode I was having, and they had to shock my heart back into rhythm. And they were starting to talk about potentially doing a surgical procedure um, to essentially freeze certain areas of your heart so that the signals didn't get messed up in those areas. And that's about when I started. I actually started keto first. Didn't really make a difference, but I did lose a little bit of weight. And then I went into carnivore. And really quickly within carnivore, I noticed the difference. So before I had started carnivore, I was having about 2 episodes a week, probably. Anytime I did like strenuous weightlifting, I could cause enough stress to my heart that I would go into an episode. And probably within the first month or so, I noticed I wasn't having episodes again. And it's now been pretty much close to 14 months since I've had an episode. And I can lift heavier weights than what I was before when I was causing it to happen, and for a longer period of time. And I have not gone back into it. I recently had a situation where I kind of got dehydrated and my electrolytes got a little off balance, and I had a few skipped heartbeats, but I never went into AFib or anything from it. So that was very encouraging, because in the past, if there was anything like that, I would have gone into AFib. So I'm pretty convinced, and I've asked other people from my channel that have had AFib, and if they're convinced too that if you go to carnivore, you pretty much, if you don't get rid of AFib completely, you get, mostly, like, you hardly ever have episodes anymore or anything. So that's been huge for me. It's been completely life changing, because before, I was constantly worrying if I was going to go into an episode and how long I was going to be in it. And if my heart rate would get high enough that I could potentially have a stroke, or if there was blood clotting at my heart. So that was huge for me, just getting away from all those episodes I was having.
Outstanding. And I'll put this out for you. Put in the comments if you started on keto and went carnivore. I'm just curious how many people out there started keto and went carnivore. Now, me personally, I went from the SAD diet to carnivore in a week. I started March 1st, and by the end of that week, I was completely off carbs. I know some people have stepped into it slowly. Some people went keto, then carnivore. I don't think you can go vegan, then carnivore very well. I've seen some people try that and end up crashing because your body just can't handle that far of a jump. But I put it in the comments if you went keto, or if you started keto and went carnivore. And let's move it over here to JT. And JT, what's your biggest victory?
I know Carrie went from keto to carnivore. I watched Carrie do keto, and I just nothing against him or his progress. It's just keto didn't impress me when anybody did it. So, but carnivore, man, I saw those results. I was like, holy crap, I want in. It was another level for me. But non-scale victories, man, I got a couple of them. Most recently, I'm finally in a medium shirt for the first time in my life as an adult. I don't think I've wore a medium shirt since I was probably like 9. I've always been a fat kid, so that was wild. I still can't believe I'm wearing a medium shirt right now. Just doesn't feel real, but it is. Yeah, I feel too. I was just reading. Like, I feel like I don't know if I'm either reading faster or just soaking in what I'm reading better. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, one of the two, but I think I'm reading better. And I'm retaining the info that I'm reading a lot better. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, and I did my first pull-up in years at Carrie's place. a reason is that I don't have a place at my house here to do a pull-up. Like, and if I do them on like the door frames or something, I have a feeling I'm gonna pull the boards off the wall. But so that was fun. I had bad depression and anxiety attacks before carnivore. That's all gone. Thank goodness, man. I had some bad thoughts, and I'm glad I never acted on any of those bad thoughts. And I suggest if anybody else is out there having negative thoughts, that please do not act on them. Give yourself a chance to feel better, because you will. So I also recently I just found a farmer I'm going to be buying my meat from. So it's going to go meat from farm to table. So that's cool. I'm trying to go to like the Pick and Save and the Walmart's less. Nothing wrong with if you do that, but I just feel like we should support our farmers a little bit more. So also too, on carnivore, I stopped smoking pot 27 days in. I haven't smoked since. I'm on day 81 now of carnivore. So yeah, I have no. It was weird. I saw Carrie post a short and it said carnivores get high on steaks, and I laughed. I said, "Man, this guy's crazy." But then there's truth in that joke, man. Like around day 27, I literally started feeling so good. I literally felt like a natural high on steaks, and I was like, "This is better than pot, man." So I quit smoking pot, so that was cool. The sleep apnea, I had sleep apnea, which almost killed me. And at night, like I couldn't breathe without just hearing all sorts of wheeziness and sounds, and just feeling every breath go through the smallest airway. So that I don't feel anymore. No more sleep apnea, no more wheezy. IBS is gone. I don't obsess over knowing where a bathroom is. So yeah, that's the couple right there, and I think that's very important because it's so liberating, man, that I don't have to worry about using the bathroom or knowing where a bathroom is, or if I'm gonna have a problem and need the bath. I hate bathrooms, man, and I really don't need them much anymore. So it's awesome.
It is awesome. You can go a day or more in between bathrooms, obviously other than using the urinal, but it is absolutely amazing. We are up to 31 people in here, which is a new high for my lives. I don't know about your guys's, but I appreciate each and every one of you. If you could hit the like button on whatever channel you're watching this from, and hit the share button and share it to your social media and get the word out, and we'll get more people in here and we can share more of this lifestyle to the world, all the better. I'm going to take a break from these guys, and we'll just kind of go through here and say hi to a few people that are popped in here. We got Don. I'm not going to try to pronounce the last name. I'm sorry. Hello.
What's up, John?
All right. Somebody answer this question. He says, Stream Element bot running. What is the Stream Element bot?
I'm not sure what that is.
Are you talking about my ticker here at the bottom? Is that a problem where it's listing out all our channels? If I need to, I can take that down, but I'm not sure what you mean. So let me know. Paulette says, happy Sunday, gentlemen.
Hey, Paulette.
We got Richard in here from Copper Hill. Hello, Richard. How you doing today?
He's a big supporter, man.
We got Bold Carnivore. Hello, Carnivore friends. There's Poco Moonshine family. I know that guy.
Yay.
We got Carnivore Transformer. Hello, bud.
What's up, Graham?
South Africa in the house.
South Africa in the house.
He's doing a lot of great work on the Carnivore Diet movie.
He is.
Hey, Renee. Renee says, hey, guys, thought I was going to miss this one, but got lunch pushed back 2 hours. Well, that's better. Just push that lunch back. You don't need it anyways.
Yeah, you'll be cooking that meat up in no time. I guarantee you're going to finish the whole thing now. You pushed it back 2 hours.
Primal Mike.
Mike, how you doing, bud? Carnivore is family.
Yep.
Bold Carnivore says, I'm down 89 kilograms. That's 196 pounds now. I was 110 kilograms, 242 pounds.
That's like damn near 2 people he lost.
Yeah.
Oh, you're 196 now. I was trying to do the math on that. I was like, man, that don't add up. But I understand the question. How better I had to reread it. That's phenomenal. So, congratulations on that weight loss. All right. Laney, hi from Western Australia. It's Monday morning here.
Hey, fry up them kangaroos. Let's go.
We're
Good
sorry
day.
we're sorry that it's Monday for you, but it'll be Monday for us tomorrow.
They get to Friday faster though.
Yeah,
That's
they'll
true.
be there before us. Dang it.
Yeah, that's true. They will get to Friday faster than us. All right. Let's see here.
Non-skill victory. I'm not shy. Yeah, let us know. Belt it out if you ain't shy.
You're not shy of talking, not shy to talk about. I have non-scale victory. I'm not shy to talk about. Yeah, put it out here. We'll talk about it. I got one that's personal, but I'm going to share it here after a bit. Hello, Nicole. Hold on a second. Wait a minute.
Hey,
We got the man, the myth, the legend in here. There
What's
he
up?
is.
There, Sean.
Wow.
What's up, bud?
What's up? Y'all doing all right?
You feel
We're
the
doing
Yeah.
Sean, how are you doing?
Man, I can't complain. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, you're fine, sir. We're just getting going here. We got 36 in here right now.
That's
Nice.
what's up. What's
Keep
up,
an
Wick?
eye out for
How
trolls.
y'all doing?
We're doing good.
Awesome. JT, what's up, man? How you doing? How y'all? All y'all good? Oh,
Carnivore Transfer says same, his blood pressure is down.
That's
All
good.
right, well, let's take a break here. Sean, thanks for joining us.
yeah, man.
So we just kind of did a round of talking about our own personal victories, our big one, the big victory that we found in the carnivore diet outside of obviously weight loss. So what would be your big victory on carnivore outside of weight loss?
I think they're all big, man. But the biggest one, I mean, obviously for me, is the depression, the mental clarity, and getting rid of the depression. That was the most debilitating thing I've ever dealt with in my life. I would trade almost all the other victories for the depression being gone. Honestly, I mean that was crippling, man.
I agree. This is my personal view on it. When I started carnivore, and I'm sure all of you are at the same point, you simply wanted to lose weight. You're like, man, I'm overweight. I need to lose some weight. And you hear about this diet and you scratch your head and you're like, I can't believe that I can eat beef, butter, bacon, eggs, and lose weight. But, I've been doing that all my life, and here I am, as fat as I was. But you get on the diet, you cut the carbs, and then a week in, you're like, man, I'm starting to feel really good. Then you're 2, 3, 4 weeks in, you're like, wow, I'm really feeling good. And my anxiety's gone away, my depression.
Uh-oh, they both froze on us.
Yeah,
We're still here, guys. Don't worry. Their internet just lagged for half a second. They'll be back in a half second. There we go.
You start feeling like, or you start realizing, wait a minute, this is more than weight loss. And then suddenly the health becomes more important than the weight loss. I tell people all the time, I don't care if I lose another pound.
yeah.
If I stay right here where I'm at for the rest of my life, the way I feel and the health improvements that it's given me is worth everything on this diet. Yeah. And I can't emphasize that enough. It is worth everything on this diet.
Absolutely.
And that's why I like this conversation today, non-scale victories, because there's so much. There's so many things that have happened and changed in in all of us being on this diet that's not related to the scale. That's amazing. So that's a great thing about this diet is truly not a diet. It is a lifestyle change, and it's a lifestyle that's easy to maintain. It's not, people say, well, that's not sustainable. Yes, it is. It's absolutely sustainable.
Yes.
This is the easiest thing I've ever done in my life.
The other way,
Yeah. This is the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. So, Sean, you got anything more to say?
Oh man, I could talk forever about the non-scale victories, man. I mean, honestly, there's so much that you don't realize is happening. Even those of us who it seems like we talk about it nonstop all day, every day, YouTube about it, blog about it, post about it, interview about it, research it, think, all that stuff, man. It's like we're consumed with, the whole idea there. Even me, like it was over a year after I was sitting on a Friday night in my weekly Friday show with Chafee and Carnivore Quest and Carnivore Kip and No Carb Life with Dave Matt. we were all just sitting there having a normal conversation as we always do. And they got to talking about hernias. And, you know, you can see if you go back and watch, and I don't remember which episode or what day it was, but like they were talking about it and all of a sudden it hit me. I was like, oh my gosh, I never even realized. I used to have this softball size like hernia above my diaphragm right here, like a hiatal hernia. It used to poke out when I lay down. I could actually do like I'm doing a sit-up and it would poke out the size of a softball, bro. Like it stopped it impeded my breathing somewhat. And I even went to the doctor about it, and he was like, you know, there's, you know, most of the time it doesn't require surgery. We'll just keep an eye on it. If it causes any other medical issues, then we'll deal with it. Well, as time rocked on, like I'm over here curing the non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. I'm dropping weight. Like it's astonishing to me. I'm in disbelief. Like I'm reversing the type 2 diabetes. My sleep apnea is getting better. I'm coming off my blood pressure. It's like so many things are happening. The mental health is gone. You know, all those things are happening. And like I just never thought about the hernia. Like it just didn't occur to me to even think about it until we were having that conversation. We're talking almost a year and a half later. They're talking about it, and you can just see it. I'm like, you know, I just grab it like, oh my gosh, I've been talking about this all this time, and I never even realized, you know, the things. So there's so much you're going to experience and see that, you know, it's amazing, especially for those like myself who had so many different issues that needed to be worked on. Yeah, the weight loss is great. It's phenomenal. Some people experience it slower than others, but I can assure you beyond a shadow of a doubt, 100% facts, the weight loss will become the secondary issue at some point if you stick with it.
You know, I had the same thing happen. I got to watching Dave Mack, and he started talking about plantar fasciitis, and that was the first time I had realized it. In that video when he was talking about, I was like, wait a minute, I've had this for years, and I realized it's just gone away, and I didn't miss it because it was horrible, and not having it was great. But I just was astonished that I no longer had it, and I didn't realize it until somebody brought it, you know, until Dave Mack brought it up in a video, and I was like, wait a minute, yeah, where did my plantar fasciitis go?
That's how my back pain was. People were talking about it. I was like, yeah, now I think about it, I haven't used my foam roller or had to use a TENS unit on my back in months since I started.
And how much is that worth? And what kind of price tag? What kind of price tag can you put on that, bro?
Man, because every day, you know, if it wasn't my IBS or my sleep apnea, it was my back then. So what little energy I did have, it was being drained. Like I compared it to like someone putting a little tap in the tree for syrup, and it may not be a lot, but that energy drip, it just affects you after a while. And I feel like with carnivore, even like a floaty, I've sealed the hole back up, and now it's starting to fill back up the way it should, and I'm not always constantly losing this drip of energy.
Yeah, I think that in addition to having motivation, like I was talking about getting my motivation back in my drive, now when I go out in the yard, I was thinking post holes. I was talking about this last week, and using a post hole digger, which is a lot of work, and a pickaxe, because I'm in Texas, and 4 inches down, you're in bedrock, right? You're in the limestone. And the next day, I would have been wiped out if I did that. I did one post hole, the next day I'd be on that couch for 6 hours. Just wiped out. Next day I popped up ready to do another one. I had no soreness. It's amazing. I mean, all my life I've been an athlete, and I've always had soreness, and I had to work through my delayed onset of, you know, my DOMS. And now it's just like, it's like a cheat code. It's like I'm playing Mario with a cheat code now. It's amazing.
There you go. That's right.
What about you, Brian?
So, you know, kind of piggybacking on what Larry was saying, the whole thing with doing something and feeling sore. I used to work out quite a bit, and I was that guy who was in the gym that had like the ankle braces, the knee braces, wrist braces, you know, just I looked ridiculous, right? And I had to do that because I was always sore. I was sore doing the weights, and I was sore the next day and so forth. Now I don't wear any type of braces, and I'm not sore. I'm not sore an hour afterwards or anything like I used to be, not alone the next day. There's just, I'm not sore anymore. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm a person that had a lot of joint pain, and I had arthritis in my big toes and so forth. And none of that happens. It's incredible.
Yeah, Brian, I actually had service disability, and my whole left leg was jacked up from an injury. And I was out doing wind sprints last week up a hill and at 57 years old, and just like getting after it like I used to in high school. So not only is it not getting sore, but I have I can do things physically I couldn't do. I'm sure your lifting must be the same, right? Are you lifting differently or better than you used to?
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny because actually I haven't lifted in about a month, so I should really be talking about lifting. But I lift less now than I used to, so maybe a couple times a week. And before I was like 3-4 times a week, and I can lift a lot more than I used to. I can go longer than I used to with it.
Right.
And again, there's just no soreness.
Outstanding. Well, let's pop a few more of these comments in here. I'm on the carnivore lifestyle for over 4 months now. My weight is going up, which is great, but most important, my hormones start to work better. Recent non-scale victory is improvement in erectile dysfunction. Excuse me. Well, that's outstanding. There's that's one of the things that probably won't be talked about a lot on carnivore channels, but that's true. That's one of those things that it definitely is going to help with. It improves your erectile dysfunction, but also improves your T levels.
I think when you get on carnivore too, my wife, she before she even went on it, man, she couldn't stay off me the first 2 weeks. So the effect travels real fast when you get on carnivore. Trust me.
I don't want to get rude, but I actually woke up with morning wood after about 2 months. Yeah, 57 is amazing. I mean, that's like never. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Well, he was ready to go before he was ready to go.
You gotta think, man, you start giving your body the correct nutrients to produce the correct level and consistency of the hormones that it takes to run your body. I mean, it's got to improve, right? It's good to see you, Mike. Appreciate you, buddy.
All right. Thank you. Non-scale victory for me. I can do a full squat without hurting my knees.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. I used to, get in, be in the pulling parts off a back counter at my work, and you squat down to get lower, and then you just trying to get back up was everything. And now I don't have those issues.
Oh man.
Let's see here.
I was washing cars this past week, and I got a spare car. Basically, it's a beater. It's beat all to pieces, but it's a 4-cylinder, so I'm gonna drive it till the wheels fall off. But I'll still wash it because you take care of what you got, right? So I was washing my 2 cars. Then my wife ran to this Walmart to pick up some waters and some different things, and got a flat. So about the time I get done washing the cars, it's hot outside. I've been out there for a couple of hours. I'm getting ready to jump in the shower. Hey, I got a flat tire. I need you to come get me. Okay, well, man. So I'm throwing tools in the car. I take off up the road. It's about 10 minutes or so. There's a storm coming. Like, it's still smoking hot outside. It's right in the middle of everything in Walmart, the busiest part of town. People's all around. It's aggravating. What do? One of the other non-scale victories I have to praise is the ability to just take hard stuff on and quit making excuses and go freaking do it. That's one of the biggest things that I feel like has changed. Used to, I ain't gonna lie, man, I made excuses. I'd find an excuse to put something off that I needed to do around the house. And for whatever reason, man, when you get fed up and you get enough and you start feeling good and start getting the contentment that you can get by giving your body what it needs, you'll start really seeing changes, and you'll want to change everything. So you just start with one thing, you fix that, you move to the next thing, and so on and so forth. Well, it's for whatever reason, man, I promise you, attacking the hard stuff first is one of the best things I've ever tried to practice in doing. And I think that that's something that I'm seeing as a common theme with a lot of different people in this space recently is just if you want to be successful and see some of the non-scale victories along with the scale victories, learn to gravitate to the hard stuff and knock it out. Because once you get that done, it's downhill from there, right?
Yeah,
it's
you should have the easy stuff left over then, right?
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Sean, last time you were on, my wife was telling me on the comments on Friday that there was a troll in there, a couple of them, and they were saying some things about you. And I apologize, I didn't see that. It's so hard to see the comments and stuff, you know. And I just want to say for people watching the live streams, it happened twice now to Brett, and it happened to you. I don't mind when people say things about me; it really doesn't bother me. But when they start saying things about my friends, that kind of annoys me. So I did want to apologize for that. I didn't know that I didn't know there was those comments. But if people are watching and your goal is to follow these carnivore live streams to try to tear us down, or you don't like the fact that we study God's word, that's on you. And I just had one thing for those people that do have a bad attitude towards God and carnivore. I just read this morning this book, The Richest Man Who Ever Lived. And there's a part in here, just real short here. It says there are 31 days in the month, and there are 31 chapters in the biblical book of Proverbs. Every day, at the start of each day, read the chapter in Proverbs that corresponds to that particular date. Read 2 chapters on the last day of the month that have only 30 days. Do that every day for a month. After a month, I will guarantee you, within 2 years, you'll be smarter than all your bosses. You guys, read the Bible, improve your attitudes, and stop trying to tear people down. You know what I'm saying? So, and I apologize that I didn't see that troll in the comments, Sean. I just wanted to bring it up.
Man, I don't hold it against you, man, because I don't see them either, man. There's always somebody with something negative to say, but I got receipts. You know, I don't. I got receipts for what I did. My health is the best it's ever been in my life. I'm seeing success like I've never seen it before. And my focus is on 1, God, 2, staying on the track to get to where I want to go in life and using his power to get there. So you don't have to agree with me. That's cool. I'm not going to force my beliefs on you. But at the same time, I don't see the trolls either, because usually the people talking the loudest are the ones who ain't doing anything. So
yeah, and don't expect us to censor our feelings or our beliefs, whether it's towards carnivore or God, man. Don't expect us to censor ourselves for the people who do want to hear that message, because it's not worth toning down the message for people who are jerks, for the people who aren't jerks and want the message. So just keep being ourselves, guys. Keep doing you.
I'm not
the other thing we can do to support other channels is help do some moderation. We can help, go in there and
say that. I think chatting with carnivores is getting to the point now I'm going to need a moderator, because it's happened now a couple times. Like, we get these little hate raids and they try to come in there and tell us to eat goat nuts and shit, and it's just not not cool, man. I don't go on vegan. Really, when you love yourself and you find that mental clarity and that peace with God, you have no darkness in you to spread. So I feel like the closer you get to the light, the more you're going to feel the love inside you to spread love, and you won't be in people's comments trying to tear them down because you actually don't like your life, and you hate the fact that we enjoy ours,
Absolutely. And I like I've said this before, man. I'm not mad at the vegans. Like, I wish you all the best. If you're happy with what's going on with your life, that's your decision. You got to decide. I'm not 100% right on everything. I don't claim to be, but I'm also, I'm not getting so riled up about a certain issue or somebody else's belief. I'm out here making videos about them and trying to tear them down either. More power to you. You believe what you want to believe. I believe what I want to believe, and let people judge for themselves. And if you want what I got, more than happy, jump in. I'll be more than happy to tell you about it. If not, cool. Let's keep doing our thing.
I just interviewed Sue yesterday, and she's an ex-vegan. So there's no reason to fight with vegans, because more than likely they'll probably share our beliefs one day once they get rid of their own beliefs. So I just want to say, in the meantime, though, while we have different beliefs, there's no reason to tear each other down, especially for someone, being a God-fearing person. That's just, it's just not going to fly on my watch. If I see it again, the next person gets banned. And if there is anybody out there who wants to help John and Sean, everybody else, be a moderator, just to keep things, friendly, then reach out to everybody.
Absolutely. I appreciate that, man. But hey,
I agree wholeheartedly with you. I agree. You know, whether you're doing carnivore, or you're doing ketovore, or if you're doing keto or paleo or whatever it is, this is an open community, and we're here to hear it. Now, if you're going to get stupid in the chat and be, you know, and get ridiculous, you know, then you'll find your way to the door, you know, either by yourself or by, you know, or forcefully.
Yep.
And that's true in life. You know, there's too many people that can hide behind screens and try to talk garbage.
Oh yeah.
But you know, none of us have time for that, and none of us want to have to endure that. So you can count me in to come help you on your chats. You know, if I'm available, I'll jump in there and help moderate your chats. You know, and be looking for stuff like that, and we will show them the door.
Yeah,
There's no
whoever's
point in having
available,
that.
let me know. I'll put you on a list
I don't
and
mind constructive
make you
criticism.
happy.
If somebody wants to challenge what I'm saying and wants to have constructive criticism with me, outstanding. Let's get in here. You know, we'll talk about it. But if you're just going to be a troll and spread, you know, crap and talk, you know, and curse and be garbage, out the door you go. I got no time for that.
Yeah, and
All right,
I really don't mind people saying it to me, man. But when you say it to my guests, to my friends, I'm like, dude, you just crossed the line, my guy. I'm not going to stand for that. I've always been the guy who, when I see kids get bullied in school, I've always stepped up and I say, you really looking for a fight? Because I'm looking, man. I'm itching. I've been looking for a guy like you who's just running your damn mouth. And not that I'm trying to fight them, but I'm just saying in high school, I never liked a bully. I always wanted to stand up to a bully and help other people who are being bullied. And every time I never had to fight one of those bullies because they weren't actually a bully. They were just a big jaw flapper. And that's usually what they are.
Most of the time. Let's get some of these comments knocked out here. We got a Meeting Wellness says, hey, JT, nice to see you on a live.
How you doing? Nice to see you too.
Bypass Carnivore. Happy Sunday, everyone. Bypass Carnivore's got a channel. She's starting. She's you know, been struggling with getting it going. If you guys get a chance, you should definitely you know, check out her channel. You know, Bypass Carnivore. Go ahead and put your link in the comments here. Anybody that's got a carnivore channel, please list it in here. I know some of you got carnivore names on your thing, but I don't know if you actually have a channel or if you're just going by that. So if you actually have a YouTube channel that you're actively doing on, please put a link in here and we'll give you a shout out if we can. And then of course, questions, put a Q before it because we're going to be looking for that. And then, you know, non-scale victory.
Yeah, Charlotte's got a question with no Q, but it's a good question.
It is good.
Where's it at? What's the time?
11:41.
Near the bottom. Yeah.
11.
Charlotte Osgood.
Did I miss it? Charlotte Osgood is
Facebook. Oh, it's Facebook. I wonder if you can still bring it up, right?
Yep.
Oh, it's on Facebook.
Yeah, it should be towards the bottom of the list, like the second last comment, John.
Oh wow,
I mean,
you can see Facebook now.
All right, so Charlotte is my daughter, is my wife's daughter, by the way. So
okay.
Nice.
What is the carnivore diet, and how do you eat to this diet to get the best results for weight loss and better your life overall? Well, Charlotte, you can definitely reach out to your mom or me, and we can definitely talk about that. But just to give you a brief on it, it is eating meat based, high protein, high fat.
Oh, internet drop. He's on.
I swear, the devil's at work in this thing today. Like, seriously, yeah. So
it happened at the worst time.
There you go. He's back.
Anyways, we're only eating meat. We're not eating vegetables. We've cut the bread. We cut the pasta. We cut the rice. We've cut seed oils. I've lost 70 pounds in the last 7 months. Your mom is down. What are you down? 30 pounds? Leanne. No, she's ignoring me. She's got her earbuds in. She's down like 30 pounds right now. So, you know, things are good on this diet. Definitely just shoot me a message on Messenger and we'll talk more.
Yeah.
That's cool. I love the family getting involved. My family's all involved now. My brother.
Glad to see the curiosity, right?
Yeah, my sister, my brother-in-law, they've all lost weight. They're all on board now. My neighbors. I mean, that's why I started a YouTube channel, because I saw the ripple effect. I'm like, man, I'm affecting people I don't know just from telling them about it and them seeing results and them starting it.
What are you doing so right? I can't get a single person in my family to not only try it, they literally like lecture me on not eating vegetables. Yeah. They send me comments about, oh, how skinny you gonna get? Like, literally, my family is so negative towards the carnivore diet, and I don't understand how Moose Tracks ice cream is the way to go and a steak isn't, man. I just don't understand. So what am I doing wrong, guys?
Man.
Any other questions you guys have noticed that I missed?
I haven't seen any questions that you missed, but that's the other thing I wanted to touch on. What Larry mentioned a while ago as well. That's another reason not to kick a dead horse or even rehash it, but the people that are so negative and got bad things to say and whatever, that's the other reason why I don't get tied. I try my best not to get tied up in all that junk, because there's so many people who are hurting. There's so many people who are without hope. There's so many people looking for the same answers that everybody on this panel right here finally found, that are hurting, that need help, and they don't need to wait to get it. They need it now. That's the reason why we don't get off focus. We don't get off track. Because this is the answer that people spend a lot of time and a lot of years in their life searching for and paying good money to doctors trying to find and doing all kinds of things. And it's so simple. It doesn't cost you a dime more than what you're already paying, but to switch your food. So, trying to stay focused on those things is worth it, man. And I'm seeing that. You would not believe there are people that subscribe to the channel, that are in the Facebook group that community that I created, that are finding these answers, finding help, not only finding it, but they're really finding meaningful change in their life. Brian's in there. He's seen it. John's in there. Some of you guys are welcome to come as well. It's not a place for promotion. It's not a place for anything other than helping other carnivores, ketovore support group. Yeah. It's not about YouTube, because in all honesty, this YouTube is great. It's a great platform, but at the end of the day, it's where the rubber meets the road, where real life happens. You can really communicate with real people to bring real change. And that's what it's all about. That's where I've stumbled into and found,
So what's the Facebook group called, Sean?
Carnivorous Community.
Carnivorous Community. I thought it'd be like intentional thoughts or something, like intentional connections or something.
Right.
I got a question for you guys, because for me, I never ever of my whole life until last month thought about starting a YouTube channel. And the only reason I did is because of this. Now I know you, JT, you had one. But I mean, the rest of you guys, were you ever considering doing YouTube before, or any kind of social media as a influencer before this diet?
Yes, I had a channel that was around sports, and I did some sports related videos and so forth, and actually had a little bit of a podcast going with that. But then when I kind of got more into carnivore, and I was like, I think it's time to start promoting the carnivore diet and, what benefits I've seen, I just kind of scrapped that, and I haven't really done anything with that channel at all anymore. So I started the Carnivore channel brand new.
Okay. Interesting.
Hey, John, there was a question going back 12:38 p.m. from Peachy Pam. It was a question for JT about the book.
One sec, I'm looking for it here.
While you look for that, I'll answer the question. No, I did carnivore for almost a complete year, and had seen right at 200 pounds of weight loss before I ever started a YouTube. And I was perfectly fine with just doing what I was doing, because I was being able to reach people and help people that way. YouTube just offered a bigger platform and a different way to do it. And I do like talking with people. I do like the setting of being able to get on here and create content and make videos, which I haven't been doing a lot of. So I think it opens the platform up, gives me a wider base audience. I can reach all around the world, and talk and whatnot. But no, I didn't plan on starting a YouTube. And honestly, it's not even, I love it, but it's not even my main focus now. I love it. I want to see it grow. I want to see it get bigger. I want to see it do well. But my main focus is seeing real people make real change 100%. And that's what it's all about for me. And I make a lot of decisions based on that.
Yep.
I feel it's another tool the Lord blessed us with, just to keep spreading the message. Mark, didn't mean to cut you off, Larry. Sorry about that.
That's okay, man. I actually have reached like veterans all over the world from different armies and navies and air forces, and they're reaching out to me because they're, each one of us has a unique set of skills and personality to link with other people, right? Like you guys can relate to other people that I can't, and I can relate to people you guys can't. And I think it's, we're part of a global front, and by all of us activating, we become like a military force, kind of like we're going to change the world. So, I mean, I would never have met these people or influenced them or heard their stories or, shared their victories and their failures. And this is so amazing that this allows us to do that. It's an amazing thing to me. So it's been life-changing in just a month. It really is.
And thank you for your service too, man. I did want to say that too.
Oh, and hey, no problem, man. I'm retired now. I'm done. But
Yeah,
I have a new mission now.
That's right.
Mission Carnivore.
Mission Carnivore. That's it.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that's what's up.
What I call this interview, Mission Carnivore, man.
And
my brother's retired. My brother was retired 18 Delta. He's so he was in the military, medically retired now as well.
18 series.
Yeah, he was Green Beret. He was
tough.
He was something. He was a tough little dude, man. He's always been like that. So there's a lot of those guys that I've come to know and get fellowship with, and I appreciate you guys, man, and the work that y'all put in. Same thing with EMS for me, man. I actually was talking to somebody yesterday that was a medic that was on the channel, commenting. And I just appreciate those people putting in that work, putting in the service to our country and in the service in the streets, man. The fire, police and law enforcement, EMS, fire and law enforcement on the streets here, putting in work, man. These people are going through stuff like most people would never even dream about. So I my hat's off to all of you.
Yeah, the book is called The Richest Man Who Ever Lived. If you were wondering, then we can move on to the next question there. Great book. Kerry just bought it for me, and he said it's his favorite book to read. And I said if he likes it, it's also one of the books my coach recommended. So it was cool that I got one of those books on my coach's list too. So I said if it's good for Kerry and my coach, I'm all about it.
Primal Mike here says he basically needs a dating service to meet other carnivores. I think there's actually a group for that on. I think there's actually a group for that on Facebook. I was searching groups for carnivore the other day, and I'm pretty sure I saw a Facebook group that was based around dating. So you might look into that.
It's the meeting place. I'm on it because I'm single. So,
okay.
Well, there it is.
Everyone
meet
you meet
partner
is like,
or meet
where
your
you
romance.
at? Virginia. It's like, okay, that's not going to do me. I'm in Texas. And even if you're in Texas, that can be 4 or 5 hours away. So
yeah.
Hey, if she's a sugar mama, man, if she wants to spend that plane money, tell her come on down. Price is right.
Right. I'll cook a steak.
Yes, right. Heat it up. Get the grill going. Pure bride.
And that's probably when we're.
Yeah, this whole panel and everybody on here, this stream, like God has brought us all together for a reason to mingle, to share information, to connect, to subscribe, to comment, to like, to share. Like we're here for a reason, folks.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Good night. Get
Good night, Bo Carnivore.
Yeah,
Good
take
night.
care.
We might have missed him. He might have already left, but I'm way back in the chat here trying to go through.
It goes quick when you're doing. That's how you miss some of the trolls. Sometimes they're just so damn loaded with comments.
Yeah, it's all good. Actually, that's what's up. What kind of goals you guys got? Like, what do you guys see this thing going for y'all in the next 5 years? Because this is a non-scale victory for us too. I don't know if you guys catch on to that. Being able, like, some of you had YouTube channels, whatever. But like, for after starting this after Carnivore and talking about Carnivore, which is what we're all sitting here doing now. This is a non-scale victory because it took us getting on Carnivore, and this is a result from that. Because I can assure you, if Carnivore hadn't worked, that we wouldn't be on here talking about it, right? Mm-hmm. So where do you guys see this going for y'all in 5 years?
To the moon. To the moon, man. Like honestly, for me, I was in a different niche. I was in the family niche, and there's no money in carnivore, so I've taken a lot of like downward hit, since I went to the carnivore scene. Like my old subscribers they don't really like the content, and that's okay because we can always have fun, but this is too important to not beat the drum. And I honestly, man, 5 years, 10 years, 20, the rest of our life, I think this is a lifelong mission. And making this documentary, and then once it's out, I mean, then the info is going to be out there. And that's when we actually need to go harder. There's going to be more people to organize, more people to help join the movement, and we can keep pushing this further. So the next 5 years, man, I see all of us extremely busy, being filled with a lot of positivity, having a lot of good friends in our life, man. I see the documentary getting out there and helping change this culture. I see farmers getting more action than Walmart parking lots. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see a lot of good things for the rest of our life, actually.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. For me, I mean, the veteran mental health crisis in America is terrible.
Yes.
And I think the standard American diet greatly contributes to that. And I know that my mental health improved in all areas so rapidly. I mean, I'm talking about weeks, not months.
Right.
So rapidly that I know we can, 22 veterans a day take their life in America. We've all heard that number. I think I want to make a dent in that. I want to get this out, and I'm getting out to active duty and veterans right now. And that's my mission. That's mission carnivore for me. So I think the next 5-10 years, man, if I save one person's life by sharing this to them, that's paid in full. But I guarantee it'll be more than that. It'll be more than one life. So that's my mission. That's what I'm all about.
Let's get that number down to 0.
Yeah, I'd love it.
Seriously, man, nothing's impossible out here.
It's hard to believe, but I mean, I did 20 years and I've lost more friends and associates to suicide than combat, even in all the wars. That's just the way I think most people will tell you that, unless they're in a real, front line, like maybe the 18 series lose more in combat, but I didn't. And my experience is suicide was way more common.
Even as a first responder in EMS, man, the last year that I was a medic, 2 of my coworkers, I think it was 2, I think it was in the same year. I know for a fact 2 of them, but committed suicide.
Right.
And so it's the first responders too, man. And I hear the stories about it. I've seen it. And like you said, the mental health, not just with the military, which is absolutely a pressing big issue, man, but with those here at home on the streets here too. And I think it's sad that of all the people that need help in this country, the people who are on the front lines defending it, the military, the fire, the EMS, whatever, the police, like, they need real change, real help. And every program that I saw when I was on the street as a medic come through from administration down was a big freaking joke. It was a big CYA event. Where,
Sean, I got a question for you. When you help most people as a first responder, was a lot of them drug overdoses more than actual accidents, like someone accidentally sticking their hand in something or getting hit by a car? Was most of them drug?
There was a lot of drugs, man. There was a lot of overdoses, but there was also a lot of
most of them
accidents too. Yeah, nowadays, there's a lot of drugs, man. But
it's the addiction. It's the depression, man. And then because I had a friend, and she said when she went on to be a first responder, she said she thought she was going to be helping all these people, and she mostly was just trying to get people to come back to life from being overdosed. And she's like, it's just not the job she thought she was signing up for, and it's just this diet can even help me stop smoking pot. So I'm sure it can help someone get off of drugs. It can help someone not have those. I had the negative thoughts too of not being here, and I'm glad I didn't act on any of them. So I think we should get that number to 0 for military and as best we can, man. It's a great cause. I like that.
Absolutely.
So we got a question here. It says, since y'all have been on Carnivore, have any of you had an incident where you have gained some weight back? I've been Carnivore since January 22nd of 2023. I've lost 88 pounds. I was once OMAD until last week. And then he says, I've gained 7 pounds since I went 2MAD.
Yeah, I gained some weight back. Muscle weight, baby.
Yeah.
Right. So I gained about 5 pounds back at one point. Everybody show their gun. Come on.
So we've been gaining weight, guys. We have been, in all full disclosure.
Welcome to the gun show.
So that brings up the point is not all about the weight loss, and so you're getting healthier and
fat, right? So we want to lose body fat, not muscle, guys. So when you just say losing weight on the scale, you don't want to just lose weight, man. If you're losing muscle weight, you want to lose body fat.
Visceral fat. You want to lose
Yeah.
visceral fat.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
if you're gaining
exactly.
muscle and burning fat, who cares if the scale goes up, man? You're in beast mode.
Beast
The
mode.
the other thing that you
100%.
gain, and a lot of people don't take into consideration, is bone density.
Yeah.
A lot of us,
Yes.
because of the lack of nutrients in our diet, our bones were actually not very dense and very brittle. And by being on this diet, over 6 months, your bone density is increased. So yeah, you're going to have a stop in weight loss. You may even have a little bit of a creep up in weight loss. But then once I was there for a couple weeks, I shot back down, and now I'm 5 pounds below that. So I mean, don't ever get discouraged by the scale, because the scale's a liar. It's not giving you a true reflection of your overall health.
Did Steve say that he was lion diet or just carnivore? I didn't see that. Because here's one thing that happened to me. I got to a stopping point where I hit 250 pounds and I went from 280 to 250, and I was there for probably 4 weeks. I was still losing some fat. My waistline was getting smaller. I had to throw another belt away. But then I decided, well, I was there for a month, and I'm like, I'm going to try lion diet for just to see what it does. And as soon as I did that, in 3 weeks, I was down 14 more pounds. It just melted off. So removing dairy and alcohol, I think, was the thing that did it for me. So something else you could look at, tweaking your diet once you've been on for a while. Not right away, but once you've been on for a while.
Yeah, drop the booze. It's just going to make you
for
fat,
sure.
man.
Yeah.
And not
Dairy
think right.
Dairy can definitely cause weight stall or a weight gain as well. So
Yeah,
I
for
heard
me,
something about we're the only species that drinks milk after their infants are born. It's like I never heard that before, and I was like, wow, really? Like,
makes sense.
We're the only species that drinks another species' milk.
yeah,
Yes,
that too. Yeah.
Think about that one. You never see anybody breaking into the barn. You don't get a fox breaking into the barn to go suckle off the cow, because that doesn't happen.
Yeah, goats. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's very true. It's the more you look at all this stuff, it's wild. Like I just learned too, like they're bleaching the eggs at the store. That's why they don't taste as good as the farm fresh eggs. They're bleaching them. What the shit is? When you actually learn about all this stuff, you think how unbalanced we are in our food system. There's a lot of work to be done, guys.
Yeah.
Hey guys, real quick, hold on a sec, guys. If you got a question, please put a Q in front of it. It's gonna make it easier for me to find. We got a lot of comments in here. We're not gonna be able to get to every single one of the comments. So if you got a question you want answered, please put a Q in front of it. And if I miss you in here, I do apologize. I'm trying to pull out stuff. So we appreciate all you guys. We got 47 in the chat right now, which is awesome. Make sure you hit the button, hit the subscribe button on whatever channel you're on, and then flip over and hit the rest of us later if you can. We appreciate it. I personally just hit 500 subscribers yesterday, and I picked up a whole bunch today. And these guys all, need the love too. So make sure you're out there helping them out. And we got Crypto Carnivore, some experience for me. They were discussing carpal tunnel resolution, and I realized mine was gone too. And I'm looking if there's more in here.
Someone brings it up, and you're like, "Holy shit, they're right."
Yeah.
Hey, I got something to say about liking and subscribing too. So I don't know how you all were introduced to this diet, but I was just on YouTube, and I was not doing any diet. I wasn't searching for diet. And Dante Fregno's 120-day lion diet video popped up, and I followed that, and that's what took me down the rabbit hole and changed my life. The only reason that video popped up is because someone liked and subscribed. Someone stranger out there I'll never meet that I wish I could thank, because they changed my life. So if you're not going to become a YouTube content creator, that's fine, but you do get this video in front of the people, and the way you do that is liking and subscribing gets it picked up by the algorithm, so you can get into the fight. You can be part of this battle without actually being a content creator. So if you don't regularly like and subscribe videos, make it a new habit. It makes a big difference in someone else's life down the road. Pay it forward. Yeah,
it doesn't cost any money to subscribe to all of our all 5 of our channels, and even more channels, and then you get
find new ones.
Look at subscribing as like linking up with a friend, and you get to keep up on their updates, and then go in the comments and then ask them for help if you're having a bad day. Like, you guys, we're people, okay? Like, if you're having a bad day too, put it in one of our comments. I'm sure, if we see it, we're gonna hit you back and try to help you out as best we can. Like, you take advantage of this, like, subscribe. It's all free, man. Talk, it's all free.
And share it on social media with your friends, because then there's going to be a snowball effect, and they're going to watch it, and then they're going to like it and subscribe and share and so forth.
Yeah, people keep talking about the algorithm. Dude, we are the algorithm. Like when we
Right.
like a video, share it, the computer responds to that. We are the algorithm. The computer doesn't like and watch and subscribe. We do that, guys. We are the algorithm. So push it out. Carrie, my dude.
Yeah, I guess we all missed the invite for the brisket stew, but maybe you'll get us on the next one there.
Hey, if
All
y'all
right.
get down to Texas, I'll take you out for some barbecue, or I'll make some of my own smoked reverse seared steaks. I make some good ones.
I'm taking off.
From Carrie there.
I'm taking off Friday the 22nd, and I'm headed to South Carolina to do a meetup with Sean and Carnivore Quest. And who else is going to be there, Sean?
Oh man, it's gonna be Carnivore Quest. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be Carnivore Kip. I think it's gonna be there. Man, I don't know. They're supposed to be possibly Ready Set Keto. I don't know if they're still gonna make it or not. Carnivore Pastor's gonna be there. Man, Southern Ketovore is gonna be there, I believe. It's going to be a bunch of us, man. If everybody can make it and everything goes on, so hopefully so.
Yeah. It's on the schedule now. I'll be there.
Yeah,
all right.
Awesome.
Carrie sent you a donation, John.
Yeah.
I usually prioritize the super chats.
I didn't know anybody could. I didn't know I could get a super chat yet.
Oh, okay.
You sure that's for me, or that might be for somebody else's channel?
It might be someone else on it. Yeah.
Well, regardless, we appreciate you, Carrie, for and he put a question with his $10. So,
where's it at in here? I see the.
It's at 12:05 p.m.
Rick is talking about juicing an iguana. I love that, dude. He does not play around, dude. That's full carnivore, dude.
I'll be impressed if he drinks iguana milk.
Hey, tell the vegans you got a new juicing fast for them. Tell them don't tell them it's iguana after they try it.
Wow.
I love you, vegans. I know. I'm just don't send me hate mail tonight.
He says at 12:05. I don't. Where's it at?
Homestead How? 12:05.
Yeah.
See that?
I'm not seeing it.
Here,
I can see the question.
It's going to be in the starred.
Yeah, go to starred. It's under starred.
Yeah, it'll be in the
super chat. Automatically go to starred.
Yeah, going to visit.
Oh, there we go. All right, guys. All right, newbie here. Sorry.
You're all good, John.
All right, going to visit Dad. We'll catch up later. Love y'all. On the path to better health, both mind, body matters. What's one wisdom nugget you shared for those considering what's one wisdom nugget you'd share for those considering the carnivore diet? All right, we'll just do a workaround here. Larry, we'll start with you.
Oh, okay. One wisdom nugget I would say is just do it and do it today. Don't plan. I mean, don't sit there and over-investigate, over-analyze. Don't think you have to have all the answers, because really it's so simple. I mean, we've already said, everyone here said it's simple. The easiest thing you could ever do is just eat meat with salt and drink water. And if you can handle that thing right there, you've got 99% of this thing whipped. And just start it. That's all I gotta say. That's a wisdom I'd say. Just start it, make it simple, and don't try to overcomplicate it. Don't do macros, don't do fasting. Just start eating water, salt, and meat.
Yeah, sometimes the simplest things aren't easy, though. They're simple, but they're not easy till you do them. My wisdom nugget for someone considering the carnivore diet: consider loving yourself. Consider loving yourself more than the stuff you're addicted to. Consider loving your mind more than you love watching mindless TV. Read a book. Consider loving your body by drinking water instead of soda, or drinking water instead of booze. Just consider loving yourself and experiencing how good loving yourself can feel, and how much blessings there are for you to receive when you do love yourself, and love yourself by the decisions you make. Make a good decision. And like I said, learn to love yourself more than you love an addiction, honestly, because that addiction doesn't love you, but you love yourself will love you back. It'll feel good.
Sean?
My turn. Ready, set, go. Nah. So Passion lights a fire, purpose keeps the fire lit. Get yourself a purpose, get yourself a why, get yourself some direction, and get on track. There's never going to be a good time to make a change in your life. You're never going to get to the motivation. You're never going to get you know, to the point where today's the day the change is just going to be easy. It's always going to be hard. You're always going to struggle. It's always going to suck. But you embrace it and you move forward, because what you're going to understand is the purpose for something that's bigger than you is going to be the thing that gives you the motivation. You're going to start seeing the changes, and then you're going to be engaged, and then you're going to realize how much bigger it is than you. And I guess to the extent that you can. So yeah, 100%. I'd say, what have you got to lose? Are you going to I always reference it, man, and I'm not going to digress forever, but I do want to mention this. There was a story in the Bible where they talk about these guys that were sitting outside the gate as the foreign invaders were coming to take over their cities, but there was a famine in the city inside the gate. So they were saying to each other, they said, if we go in here, we're going to starve to death. And if we sit here, the foreign invaders that are coming are going to kill us. So what do we do? Do we sit here until we die? And they got up and they took off a different direction, because they knew that if they just sit here stagnant, they're just going to die. And that's the lesson principle for us. Don't sit here until you die. Don't sit there thinking about change or planning for a change or daydreaming about a change. Start putting the baby steps in, the crawling steps in, whatever you got to do, 1 second, one little step at a time, until you see those changes start being fulfilled. You can 100% do it. You absolutely can do this, but you're never going to do it if you just sit there without taking any action. Take that step, crawl if you got to.
Yeah, go that other direction, right? Take that other path to get the hell out of there.
It doesn't have to be perfect. You just got to keep doing it. Consistency is key.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Brian, you got something you want to throw in there?
What you got, Brian?
Yeah, so this is a little bit different, but I feel like it's really, really important, because most people that quit the carnivore diet is in the first 30 days or so. So I would recommend slowly easing into the carnivore diet. Don't just jump in on day one, especially if you are on a very high carb diet right now, if you eat a lot of carbs. And that is just because what happens when you just jump in is you have all kinds of issues. You know, the term, the keto flu, right? That's a real thing because of, the organisms in your gut and so forth. And when you make a huge change, it is just it basically, you've got two different types of organisms in your gut, and they are going to start fighting for the type of food that you're eating. So it is very important to take 3-4 weeks to ease into doing the carnivore diet. So slowly get off of the things that you've been eating, right? Try and cut out the sugar as much as you can right away, but some of the other carbs, slowly ease into it over a few weeks. And also, if as you're going, a lot of people have problems with very loose stools, problems going to the bathroom like crazy for a few weeks. One thing you can do there as well is maybe cut down on the amount of fat, particularly the liquid fat that you're taking in, until that gets better, and then slowly bring up more amount of fat into your diet. And that's a huge thing. I think less people are going to have problems going into it, and then less people are going to be quitting the carnivore diet. And once you get to that 30-60 days, that's when you really start to see a lot of the benefits that we're seeing. And now you're not going to change. You're not going to go back and quit, because you're seeing all those benefits. So you're just going to keep going forward.
Just to piggyback off what he said, I interviewed Rick, 40-year carnivore. He's been doing carnivore for 40 years, and he suggests to try keto first. And then if you like that, go ketovore and then try carnivore. But even Rick, at 40 years carnivore, he does not suggest going full blown right into carnivore if you're interested in it. Especially if you've been like a vegetarian or a vegan or something, like maybe definitely try keto then. So that's a good one, Brian.
Excellent. My thoughts on it is one, keep it simple. You don't need to make this complicated. The great thing about carnivore is its simplicity. You're going to eat beef, butter, bacon, eggs, repeat. And you're just going to do this, and you will learn what you can do outside of that. You can learn to add fish. You can learn to add chicken. You can learn to add other stuff into your diet. But keep it simple. Start with the basics. Do your research. There's a ton of information. You got 5 great channels in this chat right now. They all have great information from different perspectives and views on the carnivore diet, but they all provide, vital information. And there's other great channels on there. There's Homestead Hal. There's Dr. Barry's channel, Dr. Baker's channel, Anthony Chafee's channel. There's lots of channels out there, and they're all providing a lot of information that it will help you dial this in for yourself. And you really got to just immerse yourself in carnivore and learn, so that as you go through this, you can start understanding, the benefits and how it affects your body and how the nutrition is important. And you'll get to a point where you stop worrying about the weight loss and you just start focusing on the improved health, and the weight loss is the added benefit. So that would be my little nugget. Keep it simple and make sure you do your research so that you know what you're dealing with. And so you can talk to other people, because you're going to have to talk to other people eventually about it. A lot of us try to avoid the conversation with people, and that's fine too. But you're going to talk to your doctor. You're going to go to your doctor one day, and he's going to be like, hey, how did you lose 50 pounds? What have you been doing over the last year? Well, you're going to have that conversation with him, and you need to be prepared for that conversation so that you can explain what you're doing and hopefully sway them to understand it better than just to have an opinion like, oh my God, you're going to kill yourself. So that would be my nugget for this. Thoughts?
Research. Definitely do your research.
Yeah. Continue.
Knowledge is power, man. You there, Larry?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're just frozen.
Oh, no.
There you are. Okay, we got you.
Still. I'm actually just sitting still.
Oh, geez, man. You like the guy from
yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mannequin thing.
So still, you didn't know, man. Didn't see him there.
I'm going to put my dish up another 10 feet. Hopefully that'll resolve my internet bumps. I apologize, but I do live off grid, so it is what it is.
Getting your energy off the panels and stuff, man. So you're doing good.
Yeah, well, right now the generator's running because it's overcast and cloudy and raining out there, and I ain't making no sun power. So I got the little generator running out there providing power to the house today. Let's see. Twin Maples here says, feel like I need coaching on doing an introduction video. Wife and I are both doing carnivore since March 6th.
Just tell you.
You can reach out to any one of us. Yep. JT does interviews. I do interviews. I know Sean does interviews. Larry, are you doing interviews?
Yeah, you mean like coaching stuff?
Yeah, just where you're getting people on talking about and stuff.
I'm starting that. I've only done 2 live streams, and my first 2 were just solo. But I want to start bringing you guys on. So I'd like to reach out to all you guys and invite you to come to my Wednesday meetup, Hump Day meetup sometime for sure. So I will be doing interviews.
Absolutely,
give me an invite.
And Brian, I think you're doing some interviews too, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you can reach out to us and you can get interviewed and you'll get some inspiration on how to do your introduction, and stuff. And we can have conversations, just back and forth in the live, off screen and, in live to talk about it. So, feel free to reach out to any of us. You can reach me at Instagram. You can reach me at Facebook, or you can just email me at carnivorebackwoods.gmail.com. And these guys all have, ways to reach out to them. So definitely, we're here to help you, buddy.
That's why I started with chatting with carnivores, to share stories. Because like Carrie says, a rising tide lifts all ships. I really believe that. So the more we help other people get subscribers and get their platform built, the bigger all of our platforms are going to be.
Charger Mopar says, who still watches TV? Where do you find time? I don't watch television. I watch YouTube.
Yeah,
I'm all YouTube or all social media.
My cable's been cut for years.
I might check the Packers game out, but for a couple minutes. But
I actually do carnivore movie reviews on my YouTube channel, though. So if you guys are looking for a good documentary, all the reviews are documentaries that are carnivore related, and they're all free. I put links to the movies in the review, so you can watch them whenever you want. So
that's cool. It's a great service here.
I can't wait to do the carnivore documentary review for Carrie's.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, it's gonna be great. Hopefully we call it Hope. Oh, I did tell him that I said, dude, I think Sean named the doc, man. Like, and he man, Carrie's words were, he said, man, he says, bro, I've heard 150 suggestions. He's like, that one's by far the best one.
Hope.
I was like, yeah, dude, I see it just flashing in my
Legit.
mind. So man, Sean, I think you might have just nailed it, man.
That's what's up, man.
So
That would
good
be
on
awesome.
you. I'm glad I asked that damn question. You know, like we gotta.
Right?
That's why it's so important to get these together, man. Just who would have thought a Friday night chat would have got that golden nugget out of Sean like that, you know?
Every once in a while.
So we got a Facebook. We got a Facebook user here throwing some love at Sean. He says, "You're all great. Yes, intentional carnivore Sean White has a purpose every single day. He is definitely intentional in everything he does, and we love Sean."
I love you guys too, man. Glory to God for that, man. Honestly.
Yeah, and when I have you on my interview, anybody talk smack, they're getting the boot right away, dude. I ain't playing around, man. Don't mess with Sean, man. I'll give you the boot.
That's right. We got things to do, man. It's also, I appreciate the comment. Somebody said, "How do I send stars?" I have no idea. I don't know how to do that stuff. I'm trying to figure all that out. I usually don't do the Facebook streaming, but I was like, I'm going to do stream. It would only let me link one, and I already had it hooked up or whatever. So I don't know how you do it. Maybe one day I'll figure out that stuff. It is, it does help, and I appreciate the thought, but hopefully I'll get it figured out one of these days.
We're literally building the ship as we go. I think some of us,
it depends. I guess it depends on what channel you're watching from. So for the channels that are monetized, you can send a super chat, which comes up as a starred comment. Some of the channels may have that. I don't currently, I know. So that would be, if you send a super chat and that comes up as a starred comment.
Subscribe to John's channel. Let's get him monetized, guys. Everybody, because
it was somebody in the Facebook group talking about the stars that you can send from Facebook, because I couldn't link my YouTube. It'll only let me link one link. So I did the Facebook group. So we're streaming to the Carnivores community group. And you should be able to send stars, but I don't know how to enable them to send stars. So it is what it is.
I got 2 thumbs up from Facebook on here so far. So I don't know if those are stars or not, but I can see that on my screen over here.
You're doing a good job then, John.
Yeah.
So Twin Maples here says, are any of you using tallow in your cooking? I rendered down about 12 pounds of beef fat last week. I have been using that to cook eggs and steak in versus butter. I love tallow when I'm cooking steak on the Blackstone. It really gives it a good crust on the outside edge. So I do use that when I have it, but it's a commodity. I'm not going to go out and buy it. And so unless I come up with something I can render myself, I don't have very much of it.
You guys ever seen whip tallow?
What's that?
Whip tallow. The I'm going today after this live stream. I've got a farm. I'm going to be picking up some meat. She also said she does like moisturizer whipped tallow.
There's a lot of that out there, and it's good for your skin.
Yeah. So if you guys you can't cook with the whipped tallow, but regular tallow you can, purified tallow you can, but they also have what they call whipped tallow, and if you want, you could moisturize with the tallow too if you get it whipped. Just something I learned today, actually. So I told her, I said, and she had lavender scented and non-scented. I said, I'll pick up some lavender, and because we lotion my son up after his bath. So
nice.
It's supposed to be really good for your skin. So yeah, let me know how that works for you. Yeah,
this place had smoked dog bones and beef tongue, and it's got everything. It's real cool, man. I half the stuff I'm gonna do a video and link them in, and people want to order too, they can order.
One of my favorite things we used to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, nothing. I was say I use some tallow soap that I really like, but go ahead, Sean.
Yeah. So like I used to get this before Carnivore. I used to get this sandwich from this authentic Mexican restaurant spot that we used to go to, the Lingua, and it's beef tongue. Man, it's some of the best eating you'll ever do. If it's done right. So if you get the chance to get any of the beef heart or beef tongue, man, get it.
They've got.
Oh man, I love some street taco beef tongue. Oh my goodness, yeah, that
How do you cook the
makes me hungry just thinking about it.
Tongue? How would you guys cook it? if I did get
I have
something
no
like-
idea, but I promise you, I would if I could find it. Like I probably can, but like I'm gonna stop back down there at the little spot we used to get them the Leewood sandwiches from and ask them how they do it.
I think
Yeah,
it's
when
You
I,
can
I was,
cooking, like
I
an
just
Instapot.
Googled grass-fed beef near me, and then it brought up a bunch of local farms that were selling their meat. And I just went through on their websites and kind of looked at what they were offering. And this one was not only close to me, but offering a bunch of great stuff.
That's
Family packs too.
if you have an ethnic market, there you're going to find that type of stuff there easily enough. I do find it, that in the grocery store from time to time. You're going to cook it. You're going to probably slow cook it in a crock pot, or you're going to cook it in a pressure cooker because it's going to be a little on the tougher side. So it's going to need a little time to break it down. But it's amazing. A little bit of seasoning. And have it in some street tacos. You can use the egg wraps. I get those egg life wraps, and you cook those on the Blackstone, just for a little bit to brown them up a little bit. And you put your stuffing in there, and you think you're eating a taco. You wouldn't even know that you're eating an egg
I
wrap.
try that, John. See, I'm learning every live stream, man. I learned something how to be a better carnivore, man. I love it.
It's hard to convince others. My wife is happy that I'm so much healthier, but does not want to do the same herself. She eats meat in moderation, but still sad.
Just set example. Give her time.
It just gives time. Some people that snubbed their nose at me before are now coming up and asking me questions. You just never know. I mean, you just got to put it out there. Ultimately, it's your health, and you're the only one that can control it, and it's their health, and they're the only one to control it for themselves. So, lead by example, and hopefully they'll be able to catch on before it's too late. Health is really important.
Talking with carnivore people, I always get the but, and what I mean by that is they're like, "Yeah, you look good, but you're just eating meat. Yeah, you've got rid of your IBS, but that's a wild. It's like, but what, dude? But what? Like, I didn't go get plastic surgery. I went on a diet. Like, there's no but about it,
right?
The craziest is when they're over there eating like a cupcake or cookies or something. They're like, but in the long term, you're going to get heart attack or something.
But I would have to get up my Moose Tracks ice cream. But I don't want, but whatever, man.
Right. Everything you're eating is produced in a factory somewhere.
Yeah.
I had a coworker, that I had a coworker tell me, "Oh, I'm just as healthy as you are," and I'm thinking, probably not, because one of us was just recently in for surgery, and it wasn't me, so probably not.
Let's go.
You can circle back next year and see if that statement's still there too, right? Circle back
exactly.
next year. Let's revisit this.
Yeah, let's put a
let's see here. I agree with Carnivore Soldier. My personally jumped in full carnivore on day one with much success over 2 months later.
Nice, good for you, Pure Bride.
Yeah, I mean I didn't even really speak to that a whole lot, but that's kind of like I have to agree with you on that too, because like I was in a hopeless place that I needed change now, and so when I started, it was literally I tried a month of it to see what it was about, and I could tell by that 130-day time period that that's what I needed. And so on April the 17th, 2022. Like the day before, I was eating sad, and the next day I was eating carnivore, and that's a done deal. And it's so I mean, I get at the end of the day, you got to do what is sustainable, but you also can't ride that line with half your foot in your desires and your addictions, and the other half searching for the benefits from carnivore. That's not a line you can teeter on. You got to either get in or get out, but you have to find what's sustainable for you as well. Like Wick was saying, man, like you are going to probably experience, if you're eating the carb heavy, which is what everybody is absolutely doing, before they come to this, eating typically. So you're going to have those withdrawals. You're going to have those issues. So some people do better easing into it. Some people, like for the mental aspect of it and the determination, you need to flat out just change your life and make some decisions and have a come to Jesus meeting and do the thing. There's both types of people. So that was me. It was an all or nothing kind of thing. So that's kind of where I land on that issue. But yeah, jump in, get in, you know.
Yeah, I had to cross the Rubicon. I basically made the decision that my life was going down so fast, my quality, that I had to make a radical change. So that's when I talk about like Cortez landing on the New World and burning his ships. I burned my ships, man. Those soldiers had no chance to get home, so they had to defeat the Aztecs
to make it work then.
with 600 soldiers, and so that was my motivation. So what I did, and I see people are like, well, I got food in the pantry, I'm going to eat it down first and then go carnivore. It's like, that's like telling alcohol to finish your alcohol cabinet before dumping it out. Dump that in the toilet and then start over, because you don't want to continue down that path one more minute if you're in a state like I was in. Not everyone is. And if your goal is losing 18 pounds, then that's not big enough. That's not a big why, because because you failed every diet you've done till today, because that was your goal, to lose pounds or whatever. Your goal has to be big. My why was not to die like my mother did, not to go down like my dad did, and to be there for my son when he graduates college and gets married someday, and hold my grandchild. So that's a big why that you can hold on to. Losing 18 pounds is nothing. That's fleeting. You got to get a big why. And then you got
to get to that determination, man. When you got to quit with the excuse. Like, I've seen it too many times. Like, you got to be willing to do what it takes. Find what works. If you're going into the situation and you're already looking for the reasons why you can't do what you're saying that you want to do, you might as well just reevaluate and figure out what you can do. Because, like, honestly, I understand the skepticism. I was a skeptic too. However, if you're gonna do it all out. We get so wrapped up in that finding the excuse, well, I would do it, but I got whatever issue. Yeah, it's gonna, like I said a while ago, it's gonna suck, but when you get to that point, like you just said, you burn the ships, you burn the bridges, where you either, what was that old song back in the day? Is an old rap song, "Get Rich or Die Trying" or something.
Yeah, that's it.
You're either gonna, it's a do or die situation. Like, many people are at that point with their health. Many people are on their way there. They just don't realize it yet.
Yeah, I'll burn the ships, man. My coach would say, seal off all exits. Don't you should have no exit door, no exit plan. There should just be the new way forward, and that's it, man. And you're stuck there until you crawl your way out of the new way, until you get back into the light. You know what I'm saying? But so yeah, seal off all exits, man. Don't look for the escape hatch, man. Get rid of it. Concrete it up, man. There's no more escape hatch. You're stuck, and then you'll crawl your way out, and you'll be a new person.
I don't think that means you can't do a transition phase too, because you can do both, right? You can get rid of almost all your stuff. Like, if you're going to be transitioning to carnivore, you should never be eating macaroni and cheese. I mean, so that's it's not mutually exclusive. You get rid of that stuff, but then if you want to still try to really just get rid of seed oils and go to whole foods. That's the first step. If that's what you're going to do, that's a transition. So, okay, I'm going to still have some whole food vegetables or whatever, but I'm not going to cook with seed oils and stuff, and I'm not going to use sauces. I'm going to start cutting that out. If that's the way you do it, that's a real transition, right? But to say, well, I'm going to eat the rest of my food because I got pudding and I got ice cream and I got that's not a transition. That is not what we're talking about here.
No.
My dude that I was communicating with, that I still communicate, and I'm not going to say his name because I didn't ask his permission to share it, but I am going to share the story. He was going to start carnivore, so he put it on a community post on Facebook for the community. Anybody that wanted food to come get it. They came over to his house. He gave all the food out of his cabinets and replaced it with carnivore food that day. When I'm not saying that everybody has to do that, but whenever I heard that, I feel the chills going through my bones right now. That's somebody who wants to change their life.
Conviction.
That's somebody who means business. You get to that point right there, you're going to see some change come in your life. Yep. You don't just start giving food away out your closet, out of your cabinets and out of your house, and then the next day going and buy, I don't know, man. It just lit me up because
I took mine to the food pantry because I know there's people that are starving, and this is good starvation food. You will not starve eating macaroni and cheese. You will live. And that's what I was like, all right, I'm going to give that away. Now, the seed oils I dumped out because I realized how bad they were. I didn't want to give those to anybody. But
bless your heart.
But, I did like almost everything out of my pantry. I did keep some survival food because I'm a military guy. So I have canned food that I won't eat unless I'm starving. I have MREs and dehydrated food that I won't eat unless I'm starving. But anyway, so see, we got a question.
We do.
Yeah,
I was letting you guys go. You guys were on a roll, so I wasn't
Yeah.
interrupting that.
Sorry.
The power of that conversation was too strong to interfere with the flow. All right. Did you all start with this way of eating for weight loss, illness, or both? Let's start with Brian. We'll work our way around.
For me, it was both. I was very overweight and, definitely felt like I needed to do something about that. But I also had a lot of pain. I had, the AFib issue that I talked about earlier. And so the idea was, as I lose weight, I was hoping that some of those illnesses and health issues would go away. So for me, it was definitely both. Now that it's happened, I can say that the illnesses, the health issues far outweigh the weight loss. And really, when we say weight loss, we don't mean weight loss. We mean body fat loss.
Yes,
But
thank you.
But for me, definitely the illness, now that I've looked at it, is really what I am very thankful for. And even though I did it for both, that's the huge point for me, is the health issues.
All right. Who wants to go next?
I started it for both reasons, like all the above and more. Like, so I was nothing but visceral fat when I started. I don't know that I even had bones at that point. I know I got 208 bones in my body, but I'm not sure that any of them could be found at that time. Like, I was extremely overweight, I mean, like, I was unhealthy. I had type 2 diabetes, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, sleep apnea, gout, and many other things. Like, so it was a combination of all the above. The mental health, like, I didn't even know it could cure all those things at the time when I started. But I just know that when I found Dr. Barry and started listening to Doc B, like, the things that he was saying that could be fixed, I was like, yep, got that problem. Yep, got that problem. Now, is all that going to happen? I don't know,
Right.
but I knew that if I didn't do anything, it wasn't going to fix it. So, it was basically all the above.
I'll jump in here. So this will answer the question, plus talk about a non-scale victory. And I've not talked about this on anybody else, or you brought this up because it's kind of personal, but I think thinking about it, it came to me that this is a huge victory. So in February, I had a major hemorrhoid flare up, and it was like sitting on a baseball. I started bleeding at work. It bled through my clothes. It was horrible. I'm not going to go into all the details of it, but anybody that's ever had it or dealt with it know that it's horrible. And that's related to the SAD diet and the amount of waste that you have to expel. It causes you issues in that department. Mm-hmm. And so being on this diet has resolved all of those issues. So that's a non-scale victory for me. And so my motivation in February, and then when I watched that video that led me down this road, is I was like, man, I'm not doing this. I got to lose some weight. I was linking that to weight, but it was diet, obviously. But I said, I got to lose some weight. I got to get myself in better health, in better condition. And so that was my motivation, was weight loss. At the time, I had some things that, illness wise that were my forethought, but I was like, I got to lose weight for this, so I'm not dealing with this type of stuff in my life. And so that's where that was my big motivation. And that's why I probably went so hardcore in March. It was like, I'm doing this. I'm done with it. I'm going to make it happen. Larry?
Yeah, okay. So I was athletic most of my life, from college playing sports, and then in the military, I would work out a lot, of course, because we have to keep a certain fitness level. But I noticed when I hit 50, because I was still active in the military until I retired in 53, my body stopped responding to exercise like it used to. I was having a hard time getting weight off. And I crept up from like when I entered the military at 240 up to 250, at 255 when I was in my 50s. And then it got up to 260. By the time I retired, I think I was 265. And then after I retired, it just came on. And I went to 280. I just ballooned up. And of course, I had all these injuries. So I knew I couldn't work out like I used to. And what I saw when I watched Dante Fregno's video, he wasn't doing anything except for body weight exercises and walking. And I said, I can do that. So that's when I started. And of course, all the things that changed after that, I'd seen him. And like Sean said, you don't believe it. You're like, well, maybe that happens for some people, maybe, but until you experience it, it is game changer. Right. And so all the things, it's kind of like a cascade, like an avalanche. Like first one thing changes and another thing, and then all of a sudden all your symptoms start changing, right? All your illnesses start cascading. Your body, basically what happens is the inflammation leaves your body, and now your body can actually heal the stuff that's been outstanding on your body that's been sitting there. And then it starts like Sean was saying with his hernia. All of a sudden things that you didn't even realize get healed, and you're like, wow, that's gone, and I didn't even realize I had that. I forgot. Like your mental stuff. For me, I didn't expect it, and when it happened, it was kind of a surprise. It was a welcome surprise. But yeah, so I would say started with weight, but now that is secondary. Of course, the weight's off, but now it's just life. It's like I am energized, I am motivated, like I haven't been in forever. So I wish I would have known this. And I say this too, I wish I would have learned this 15, 20 years ago, but I'm so grateful I did when I did, because it has changed everything.
That's great. Yeah, for me, it was mostly just illness. Growing up, I was always a chubby kid since like 9 years old. And I had no problems getting a girlfriend at any time in my life. So I figured, if the girls didn't mind that I was chubby, I wasn't going to mind either. So the weight never bothered me, but it was the health, man. I almost died from the sleep apnea. I just sprang up in the middle of the night and I just couldn't get any air. Like this is that's all I could get after a couple minutes. And but the first couple minutes I was getting no air, and I hit my knees, man. I had no power left in my body. I wasn't breathing. Everything was starting to clock out. And it was this voice, man. To this day, it wasn't a male voice or female voice, but it told me if I wanted to still be around, I had to try to breathe. And man, that was the scariest 15, 20 minutes of my life. I sat there on the kitchen floor staring at the clock on the oven and just trying to breathe. And I didn't know what minute on the clock was going to hit that I was going to die, but I just kept trying to breathe. And thank God I did, man. And so for me, it was, I wanted to start carnivore and hopefully never, ever have that experience again where I just woke up, but my lungs weren't awake, where I just couldn't breathe. And, when you can't breathe, I'm telling you, man, like it's just the scariest thing in the world. And even just a half a breath, man, is just, you're so grateful. And I think it's the free things in life we forget, man. This diet's free. Just our faith is free. Our life is free. Like we're so blessed. People don't know, you fill up your lungs with air and it's a blessing from God. So I started carnivore because I couldn't fill my lungs with air that well. And I realized pretty soon they weren't going to be filled with air no more. And I was going to be in another dimension, which is fine. But for me, I wasn't scared of dying. I was just afraid that I had squandered my opportunity at life. I squandered my opportunity to be a father, to be a husband, to talk to you guys. That's what scared me. Like I was already dying. The process of dying didn't scare me. I was already going through it. What scared me is how bad of a decision I made to get myself there. So hopefully you guys don't have to hit that much of a rock bottom or that much of a low to experience a good high, So yeah, it was illness for me. And the weight's that's just icing on the cake, man. I've never looked this good, but it's for me. I'd never want to go back to not being able to breathe, man. Scary shit in my life.
You do look good, man.
Thanks.
You're doing good.
Yeah.
I have to throw this out there. The last time I wore a medium shirt, JT, I was probably years old. So, Yeah,
I couldn't believe it either, too. I ordered it. I was like, no way, dude. Am I ordering a medium shirt? And the whole time it was said it was shipped from Arizona. So I was like, dude, Skinny thoughts. Paris Hilton. Skinny thoughts.
Well,
And
I
then
checked.
it showed up and I put it on. I was like, all right, it's now or never. I put it on. I'm like, holy shit, does this fit or what?
Legit.
The shirt I sent you is scheduled to be there tomorrow. Mine showed up, by the way.
Oh man, you
Nice.
lucky ass dog, man.
All right, so really quick here, we got over 60. We had almost 70 people here at one point. I appreciate every one of you guys. If you can hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, share this with friends, families, people you don't know. We don't care. We want to talk to everybody.
Free to share.
You know, reach out to all these guys' channels, give them some love. If you have any further questions, put a Q in it, put it in the comments now. We're going to go for another 15 minutes here, and then we're going to call this good for today, and we'll do another live next Sunday at noon. And, you know, we might have some same faces in here. We might have some new faces. I was talking to a former fat girl, and she might join us next Sunday. So definitely look forward to this every Sunday. All right. So any more questions, put them in the comments now. 15 minutes, and we're calling it a day and moving on. All right. We got this one here from Twin Maples. He says, we are seeing carnivore ice cream recipes. Is that something any of you have tried? Heavy cream and egg yolks, maybe some vanilla. It's custard. It's good.
I make it. I don't do it very often, and I don't do it since I've been online. But I bought the ice cream machine. I used Dr. Kiltz's recipe, but I added more egg yolks because I want more fat in it. So I put in 3 egg yolks per quart of heavy whipping cream, and then a little bit of vanilla, and that's it. No sweetener. You don't need sweetener. Your taste buds have changed so much that it'll taste sweet just like it is. But again, that's part of what I cut out when I went from 250 down to 236. Cutting that out, that's part of the dairy. So just be aware, you can do it.
Playing
But
with
just
fire,
because something's
folks.
permissible doesn't mean it's optimal.
Yeah, I don't do it. I haven't done it. I just feel like anything that you know, like they've got these beef patties that are made from vegetables. They're trying to make it look like beef. Like just let things be what they are. You know, ice cream's ice cream, and it's not really. I'm not against it, man. Maybe it fits in the carnivore. It's just I'm not going to do it because then I'm going to start getting ideas to eat other ice cream that's not good for me. So for me, it's just something like the popcorn machine. When I smell it, I'm just going to walk farther away from it so I can't smell it no more. That's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
How about you, Brian?
I was just gonna say I haven't tried it, and I'm kind of the same way as JT. You know, I'm thinking like if I do try it, am I gonna want real ice cream? You know, that not real ice cream, but you know what I mean. Am I gonna want ice cream that is not for carnivore? So
Yes.
I've just kind of stayed away from it.
And it is dairy, so it's not optimal. It's not preferred. In the diet.
Yeah, I stick to meat and meat and eggs.
All right, we got another question here. What do you guys think about rebranding carnivore to meat-based keto? Seems to get a lot less pushback from family and friends concerned about my health. You know, if you gotta dumb it down for friends and family, sometimes I'll tell them, look, I eat a high meat, high protein, high fat diet, no carbs, and they'll understand that. You say carnivore, it just throws their head into a spin. But in the end, carnivore is what it is.
You can
Meat-based
tell zero
keto
carb
is
diet.
ketovore, isn't it? Isn't that just ketovore? Meat-based keto?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ketovore.
That's just ketovore.
But-
We've already got a name for that.
Zero carb diet. That's a way to say it where people are used to hearing about low carb. So if you just say zero carb, they won't push back as much as like carnivore sounds like a caveman. That sounds like freaking extreme, right? But zero carb doesn't sound that extreme.
I think it's too close to cannibal. You know what I'm saying? That they think like, well, like, no, I don't eat people. I just eat meat. Dear Lord.
Unless we're starving. I'm just kidding.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Vegan, stay off
Donner
the live
pass.
chat. I might barbecue up. No, I'm joking.
I mean, honestly, I do what I do for my health and for the better advancement of what I can provide for my family. And honestly, I don't catch a lot of opposition like that. But if I did, they would understand too that, look, I'm not rebranding what I do just to please people at a certain point. Right. Like, I mean, I love people. I want people to get it. I want to get along. But at the end of the time, I'm big about boundaries. I set boundaries. You don't get to break them, and neither do I. And I think that's what we got to get to. Like, the people pleasing, you can love people without becoming, what's the word I'm looking for?
A doormat?
Yeah, a doormat. That's a good way to put it too. you can love people and get along with people without being a doormat and allowing them to walk all over you to where you rebrand and recall things, other things, and all that stuff, bro. Like, I mean, words mean things. They really do. And we don't get to change them just because it hurts our feelings.
Yeah, give them the straight talk though. If you don't be straightforward with someone, you ain't gonna help them either. Like my uncle always said, man, if you're in trouble and you don't tell me what's going on, how can I actually help you? So if you're not being real, like how you can actually help people and give them the real information. So don't sugarcoat nothing. The carnivore diet is what it is, and it's not just a diet. Tell them it's a lifestyle, and it's a good one. It's a great one. It's the best one I've had.
It's a lifestyle, absolutely. All right, I got another question here. Have you guys experimented to get optimal results along your journey, and then follow up to it is, if so, how often?
What do you mean, like steroids or something? I don't know. What do you
I
mean?
mean, probably.
Diet. I did lion diet.
Yeah, I've done
So lion diet, sea lion diet,
and bacon.
Yeah.
I don't understand the sea lion diet thing. I have yet to. I get it, but I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't even know where you can buy sea lion.
Yeah.
It's a joke. No, I know it's shrimp and stuff, but that's my joke for it.
I thought it was funny.
Why-
I'll set you up.
Yeah, I think it's because Kip was eating some shrimp or something, or cooked some shrimp, and somebody attacked him and said that wasn't carnivore, and so then he came out with the sea lion diet, which is quite funny.
Right now.
Like, you better watch my boy Kip, man. Kip will put one on you in a second too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Kip's got humor. I like
Kip. Sea
Kip.
lion on the smoker at Kip's. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. You open that thing up and there's a sea lion flapping on there. Wouldn't be surprised.
Look, my boy Kip will put it on you if you ain't ready. We don't mess.
You guys see any other questions? Have I missed it? Wait, here's another one.
And Kip is running too. Shout out to Kip, man. He's got a great goal, man. Get that 5K.
Oh, he'll get it.
Charlotte's back on here. High protein, high fat. How does that fat balance out the protein without gaining fat versus gaining muscle weight? What are the fat and protein you eat on carnivore diet? So there's a lot there, and we could delve into a long conversation on that. And I got videos on it, and these guys all have videos on it. But basically, your body does not convert fat into fat. That's a myth. That's a lie that's been touted for 40 years. Your body takes fat and if you're not feeding it carbohydrates, your body will take fat and will then convert it into energy. I can't think of the exact word on it off the top of my head, but anyways, it'll convert it into energy that your body will then operate on. So you become fat adaptive. So not only are you burning the fat that you're consuming, you'll start burning off the excess fat that you have tucked around your body. And the protein is also good for you. What are fat?
Turn on the heat in the winter. It's like you got the gas furnace and you finally turn that off. That's your fat. And then you're like, okay, let's stop using the gas furnace and let's use all that wood we cut, during the summer and like the body fat we're walking around with. And now you're switching your fuel source to wood instead of racking up that energy bill. That gas bill.
Yeah. Carbohydrates came in seasons. Carbohydrates shouldn't be available to you, 365 days a year. You can only get strawberries in June. You can only get, berries in June and July. You can only get apples in the fall. You can only get certain carbohydrates during seasonally. And so your body is designed to run on fat. And then when it has a carb in there, it uses that first, and then it goes back to fat. The problem with the standard American diet for the last 80, 100 years is we've taught ourselves to live on carbs only. And what happens with carbs is it's like, okay, we're going to store that for a rainy day for when you're living on fat. So we're going to store that around your midsection. We're going to store that on your body, and then when you need it, you'll have it. Problem is we never have a rainy day. We live on carbs 24/7. Yep. And so all that fat builds up and it never gets used until you switch over to a low carb or no carb diet like us. And then your body switches back. And now it's like, okay, we got all these reserves. We'll start burning through this, and that's the big difference. We've gone from a diet of carbs occasionally to a carbs all the time. And now we're, some of us are switching back.
Yeah, turn the gas off, man. Start burning the wood, man. We all got it. We carry around on our bellies, man. Burn that wood up.
Anybody else want to answer that question, Sam?
Yeah.
Anybody add anything?
So
I would say that you want to make sure that you should talk about the balancing out. You want to get a fat heavy diet. So, and it's by nutrient, not by volume. So if you get a burger that's 70-30 fat, that is the perfect balance of protein to fat that you want. So it doesn't mean you eat, 70% of your plate is going to be fat. It's nutrients. So and meat is very nutrient dense. So if you eat a ribeye, it's got a lot of fat to, calories from fat versus calories from protein. That's the right balance. And that's what you're looking for. So you're not looking to buy just tons of fat by itself.
What every cell in your body needs fat to be able to reproduce itself. Your mitochondria is going to eat off of that. Like that's how all your cells, all your hormones, all your blood continues to live. It's not like we just get fat, store it, or use it. Like our body's continuously, reproducing itself to stay alive. Every cell in your body. So when you're not shoving toxic carbohydrates and sugars and seed oils down your throat, causing damage and locking off your body's ability to use the stored fat and whatnot in the correct manner, then it's not that big of a deal. And I mean, you could play with the balances. Nobody's going to be able to give you the exact number of fat to protein ratio that you need to eat. You've got to actually do that and figure that out for yourself. A good place to start is 2 to 1 or 1 to 1, according to the doc. The beef, butter, bacon, and eggs thing that Dr. Berry came out with was put together basically because every item on there, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, has a 1 to 1 fat to protein ratio. So that's what makes it complete, like for that example. But just get in there, see what happens. Try it for yourself. And see how you feel on it, and then reevaluate down the street, down the road a little bit.
All right, so that's all of our questions. If anybody else has any more questions, you guys can reach out to us directly, or you can catch us on another live. I want to go through each person for a final thoughts, and then we'll, we got about 4 minutes there, give or take, but we're going to get each person's final thoughts, and then we're going to call it a day. And I appreciate every one of you guys for being on the live today. I think this is probably one of the best lives that I participated in, in a group fashion like this. So I really appreciate it. We've had up to 70 plus people, actively in the chat.
Let's go.
We got it going on YouTube and Facebook on multiple channels. So I'm excited. We'll be doing it again next week at noon on Sunday. We'll have a topic that we're going to talk about and answer questions. And I hope that everybody will be able to, come out and join us again. We'll just work our way around from the top here. So Larry, why don't you start it and we'll work around.
I feel like I got the easy spot because I always get to go first. So I'm stealing everyone else's ideas before they get to them, and they have to come up with a new one, but I'll take it. So I would say that, find your why. Even if you've been in this for 3 or 4 weeks, maybe you've been in it for a month already, and there you go. Now I'm in
willingly asked and graciously received, man.
If you're thinking about starting it, or you just started it, or you've been in it for a month, and your why is still losing weight and losing 15 pounds, shift gears, go to a bigger why, and that'll help sustain you long term. So that's what I say is, if you have not figured out what your long term why is, make that your goal right now. And spend some time, reflect, and figure out what your why is going to be.
That's good.
That's it.
All right. Brian, you're up next.
All right. So, Sean talked about his Facebook community, and those are great communities for people to get support and just talk to other people that are doing the same thing. And I think that's a key. And that's something I see a lot in the carnivore community. But if you're not doing a lot of that with getting support, talking to other people, go and do that, because it's going to help your journey. It's going to help you to stay on track and so forth. And those communities are great. So if you got a community like Carnivorous Community, right? That's the name, right? I think that's it. Yep. So if you got a community like that, that Sean has, I think most of us are in that community. Use that community, and you don't even have to post. If you're not the type of person that doesn't like to post, just read everything that everybody else is putting in there. There's going to be so much in there that's going to help you on your journey. So that is a key, and just keep pushing forward. Don't give up on it no matter where you're at. If you make mistakes, I make mistakes all the time. If you make a mistake, it's okay. Just go move on from there, learn from it, and move on and keep doing the carnivore diet. That's it.
All right. Thanks, Brian. And there we go, JT.
I just want to say thanks to John for the invite, and thanks to you other guys here on the panel, and everybody in the comments for fellowshipping with us here on a Sunday. And it's just great to connect with you guys and to share wisdom and to share support and stuff like that. But the thought I want to leave you guys with is better food, better mood. Get to know your farmers, get to know how your food's being treated, get to know what your food's eating. And even a butcher's okay, but that's still a middleman. Go right to the farm, man. Start supporting these people, man, because if we lose our farms, man, we're going to lose our source of supply. And my coach always taught me, you got to give back to where you get from. And if we're getting all this meat from the farmers, we need to start giving back to the farmers. Otherwise, the getting will be done. We want to be go givers, not go getters. So better food, better mood. Go to your farmers.
And I'll throw this out there. Your farmer, if you're buying meat from a local store, your farmer's getting pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
But if you buy directly from a farmer, that's going into his bank account, and that's helping him pay the bills. So, go to a local farmer and support your local farmer, because they got bills to pay and they got struggles. And if they sell it through wholesale or retail, they don't make nothing, period, if you buy it directly from them.
Yeah, what I did was Googled grass-fed beef near me, and I found a bunch of farms, and I just went through on the websites, and most of them got pictures of them and their family and their farm, and just try to pick someone that looks like they got a good heart and could use the blessing, and then use that blessing too of the internet. Like the Lord put that for you on there for a reason. There's farms on Google for a reason. Use all this stuff and start going to the farmers, help them out, because like I said, even a butcher is a middleman. Like it's nothing wrong with saying you go to a butcher, but go to the farms, man. Help them out. Give back to where we're getting from.
All right. Last but not least, Sean, take us out of here.
Awesome, man. Yeah, like these other guys, man. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate the opportunity to come share with you guys. Larry, JT, and John, Wick, Brian. Sorry, it's all good, man. I enjoy being able to converse back and forth with you guys and share thoughts and actions and fellowship. It's always good. It like was mentioned, like Brian was mentioning about the community. Community is important. We're not meant to do life alone. We don't get to choose whether or not we're gonna struggle. That's a fact of life. We're gonna struggle. We're gonna face adversity, and circumstances are gonna not always be ideal. But we do get to choose what we suffer for. So there's no sense in us suffering needlessly whenever we don't have to. And having a community that's strong, that's together, that may not make the burden any less, but it can make it lighter, because there's more of us to help carry the burdens together and get to where we're going. So just keep that in mind. Get involved with community so you can get that encouragement, so you can get that inspiration, so that somebody's going to share something that might be the one little tip that changes the trajectory of your progress. So I appreciate you guys. Can't overstate that enough. You guys come hang out with us for 24 hours next weekend. It's going to be crazy. See if I can stay awake. It's going to be awesome, though.
Sean,
when does that start? When does that start and end?
Chance, okay.
I'm sorry.
When does that start and end? The 24-hour live stream.
Oh, so it's going to start Saturday morning at 8:00. Well, I guess it's 8:00. I don't know if it's 8:00 Eastern time, my time, or 8:00 Central time, Carrie's time, but I think it's 8:00 my time, but I may be wrong.
Yeah, it's like 7 to 7, 8 to 8 on your time.
Yeah, it's 7 or 8, one of the two. But around that time, next Saturday. Yeah, it's Saturday morning to Sunday morning.
So next Sunday when we have our live on here, then that'll be an after event, and we'll be able to talk about it soon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey, Sean, I need your photo for the thumbnail when you get a chance. Email me a photo, okay?
All right. Got you, brother.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, this is fun. I appreciate the invite, man. And I'm about to go buy some meat now and some whipped tallow for the lotion.
Nice.
I missed this. Somebody threw this out in a comment to me. I just want to make sure I, put this out there. Jeff from Greenville, South Carolina, started Carnivore June 4th. I was 498 and now 446. Thanks to all you guys. Purple blue piece.
Yeah, email us up if you want to share your story. That sounds
He's
like
like-
a great story.
He lives like 20 minutes from me. I'm like 20 minutes from Greenville.
There you go.
Yeah, reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you.
Or something.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Congratulations. Keep pushing forward, brother.
All right, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here today. And like I said, we're going to plan again for next Sunday. If you guys are available and want to get in here, let me know. I'm going to keep it down to 4 to 5 carnivores, and we'll continue doing this. This was a great live. I think we did a lot of good information and spread a lot of good love to everybody.
John, you got to end your streams now to say, stay wild.
Stay wild.
That's
Carnivore lifestyle. Stay wild. Absolutely.